look at the Lichen. I mean, bit of a nightmare. This owner certainly hasn't been up here for a while. I'm not a friend of cheap solar, and this is the bottom of the bottom, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, so definitely a bit of water ingress in that isolator.
It was a door knocker that sold my dad the system.
Presented by Your Energy Answers.
We inspected Australia's solar systems to find out why so many families still have high power bills even with solar on their roof. Australia is the rooftop solar champion of the world. More than 4.3 million systems installed nationwide. Politicians love to quote that number as a big success story towards fighting climate change. But nearly half of those systems are now over 10 years old, and many are no longer performing anywhere near what people think. So we hit the road with the solar service guys to see what's really happening on Australian roofs. Do older systems still deliver what they promised? Our first stop was a small 3 kilowatt system installed in Sydney's West all the way back in 2011.
What's the story with your bills at the moment? What's the amount?
So the last quarter was 600.
But have you ever had your system inspected?
In terms of maintenance, I don't think he's really done anything.
Be interesting to see how it looks at the roof.
Yep, let's go have a look.
Wow. I mean, just look at that. Look how much electricity we would lose, and it's just completely covered. Even if you clean these panels, it'll just be back again.
Already we can see one clear reason this solar system isn't performing. They'll need a thorough roof clean with lichen killing treatment to stop it coming back.
Anyway, let's have a look at the panels.
Yep. On the serial number, you can see it's a Canadian Solar. You can see back sheeting is actually starting to come apart and deteriorate. You can see in some of it there's a little bit of cracking in the back of the sheet where there's some little gaps.
Normally, with these backing sheet issues, the customer could claim warranty on the damaged panels' back sheets. But it's possibly well out of their warranty because in the early days, panels only had about 10-year warranty. And even if there is still a warranty, the heavy lichen growth would likely void any claim. So be aware when you got solar, if you never look after it, you can actually lose the warranty.
Now have a look at what are you telling here? What can you tell me? What's some of the things you might want to check now and straight away say, could have been improved?
So first we just double check to make sure that the system's actually producing, which at the moment it is, so it's still outputting a bit of power.
Despite the lichen, the system was actually still running, but with proper maintenance, it would have performed far better. And these panels, they're only 220 watt, a far cry from today's 480 or even 500 watt models like the Icos. Back in 2011, a 3 kilowatt system made sense. We had 60-cent feed-in tariffs, but today, that system is just simply too small, and especially if you add a battery or an EV. So what do we recommend to an owner of that kind of system? A, clean the roof, and secondly, plan for a larger system, start saving up. The second system we inspected was also in Sydney's West. So with power bills climbing, the owners weren't even sure if the system still worked.
What's the situation here at the moment?
I think that my parents got it in 2012. I don't know whether it saves them money or not.
There's still a high electricity bill, and we want to know why.
This is a 2-story roof, not for my needs anymore. So Riley and Tim from Solar Service Guys, they went up instead. And straight away, they found problems.
Let's have a little look at what's going on here. Look at this spot. No deck tight, straight under the tile, and the tile sits funny. And that lets water run through.
There were lots of issues. No deck ties. That means the cables for the panels were just pushed under the tile, which can cause leaks, water gets in, and it causes issues to your roof. As good practice in those days, tiles had a groove cut via a grinder. This wasn't done. The panels weren't earthed.
Yep, confirm no earth. So the system isn't earthed.
The original panels had already been replaced in 2018, when earthing had become mandatory.
And we've got a lot of cable hanging on the roof. Yeah, it's tied on with plastics.
And plastic cable ties are a real disaster because in the Australian sun, they will always crack after a few years. Then they'll fall into the gutter, they accumulate, and they will block your gutter. And one end clamp was missing, which means the last panel wasn't tied down properly. If you get a big wind, that's a real danger for the family living there. But the real issue the inverter and isolator.
I'm not a friend of cheap solar, and this is, what would you say, this particular system with that brand inverter?
Yeah. Yeah, not great. Not great.
So is it dead? Is it still working? Why they got the high bill?
No, look, so what we found was that there's no DC voltage coming down. Obviously, looking at the condition of the isolator, it's quite poor condition.
Yeah.
We might pop that open and have a look there. Yeah.
Cheap installers, there's one remedy for everything, silicon. But it isn't. Because a couple of years later, you get cracks, and that's when the water comes in and you're going to have issues. Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely a bit of water ingress in that isolator. Yeah. So you can see just how poor condition that is.
Yeah.
The isolator is stuffed. The screws in the back aren't sealed, so those screw holes are bare. You could get water running down or seeping through the brick into the
Is this how the
isolator.
rules were in those days, 10 years ago, or is this just a poor practice full stop?
It's poor practice full stop, but it also has something to do with the rules adapting. So nowadays, you'd whack the isolator on the wall, come into the bottom, you'd have a drainage tee between that, and then you'd come out into the inverter.
The way this looks, how long is that system already hasn't worked?
Oh, it would have been off for quite some time, in my opinion, yeah.
So what's your advice here now? Does he actually go, the inverter's dead, this is dead, you could run around, try and find a similar inverter, good luck, or you basically say start fresh?
Yeah, so we'll provide a quote for the works that need to be undertaken, so replacing the inverter, replacing the DC isolator, and the customer can then chat to an installer about a price for replacing the entire system. Then you can compare the prices, go down the path of what you think is going to be best for your return on investment. We can provide them with everything they need to make an informed decision.
So in this case, if Leonard and his parents want to get it working again, they would really need to get a whole new isolator and inverter, and preferably not install it in the direct Australian sun. Look at how faded that unit was. Now that inverter manufacturer left Australia years ago. No warranty, no parts. This thing is just a boat anchor.
Would you start fresh and new again with cheap, or you would get middle of the road or better?
I will look at how long they still want to live in this house. That will determine the outcome of what we're going to do.
With the parents?
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Think about the cars we drove 20 or 30 years ago. Back then, retractable seatbelts weren't mandatory. We didn't need headrests, ABS brakes, or airbags. It wasn't that we're trying to be unsafe, it's just that technology and standards hadn't caught up yet. And your solar system is exactly the same. When these systems were installed, they met the standards of the time. But just like the automotive industry, solar and batteries have evolved. We've learned more about proper labeling, about safer cable runs, and the fire ratings and efficiencies of panels have improved vastly. What was acceptable then isn't considered best practice now. That's exactly why getting your solar system checked, especially when it's a bit older, does matter. You want the solar equivalent of airbags and seat belts protecting your home. That's where solar service guys come in. Think of them as the specialist mechanic for your PV system. They aren't car salesmen trying to sell you a brand new model. They're the inspector ensuring your car is safe to drive. If your PV system is too old to be roadworthy, they'll tell you. But their main job is to get your investment back on the road, saving you maximum money. So don't drive without a seatbelt, and don't run solar without some regular service and maintenance. So if your solar system has been one of those forgotten ones, give Solar Service Guys a call.
Please support the channel by liking the video, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell, and check out all our other videos. Want more energy answered? Visit yourenergyanswers.com for quality energy products, tools and calculators, and find your quality local installers. You're still here? I'll see you next time. Bye.